Hi, Shirley Bilson here. I wanted to put together this video today to answer a question that is sometimes asked, usually by people that aren't involved in the programs, but sometimes by people that are involved in the self-help programs or just people generally. And it kind of relates to, well, okay, so I've stopped dieting and I feel better about that, but I'm putting on weight. What do I do? You know, and I can sense in the way the question's phrased that already panic is rising. It's becoming more fearful, an anxiety-ridden kind of state, and they want me to tell them what to do. So here's, it's easier obviously when I'm working with someone one-to-one that I can figure out what they're precisely doing that's contributing to this. However, here's a few things you'll want to think about that could apply to you and may well be helpful. The first one is when people say, oh, I've stopped the dieting. If you've watched my videos or read any of my blogs before, you'll know that I talk about three things. Stop dieting, let go of the guilt, and put yourself first, make yourself the star of your own show. And what I would suggest usually sometimes happens if people are going, oh, I'm still putting on weight, is that they've stopped the dieting. If they tell me they're already feeling a bit better, they may well have been putting themselves first more often, which is fantastic. But the bit that they're probably not yet getting to grips with is letting go of the guilt. Now, there could be lots of reasons for this. Number one is, when you're a binge eater, what you want to move towards to have a normal, comfortable relationship with food is a situation where you can eat anything you want, without any fear or risk of you overeating. So for you, instead of a packet of biscuits being a big dangerous threat sitting in the cupboard, oh no, I'll eat those cookies, I'll eat that chocolate, I'll eat all of it, you can comfortably go, oh, I fancy a biscuit, I fancy a piece of chocolate, I fancy a small slice of cake, and that's really all that you'll have. And so that's the end objective, and when you start off as a binge eater, you don't believe that you'll get there. And the whole stopping dieting, if it turns into just an endless binge, there's a few factors missing. Number one is you're probably feeling guilty still at the first couple of mouthfuls. You feel guilty even that you've taken it. So the guilt will perpetuate the cycle. You really, really have to let go of the guilt. But another big factor is, I will often ask people a question, and ask yourself this. If a miracle happened tomorrow and you suddenly, binge eating is no longer an issue, what would your day be like? How would it be different? What would happen differently? What would you do differently? Now, if you answer that question in terms of, well, I'd go out more, I'd go to the cinema more, I'd hang out with my friends, I'd take up hula hooping. You know, if it's linked to activities and behaviours and places you go and people you see, then great. But if you find your answer still has food at the centre of the answer, in other words, oh, I'd eat more healthily, I'd eat less of this and more of that, I'd eat sensibly. If your answer still has food in it, you've not yet made enough change, and that's why you're still binge eating, because you are still creating this perspective around this belief around food that says that some types of food are okay and some types aren't. And even as you say, so you might say it in a very positive way, I will be eating healthily, I will be eating 3 sensible meals and 2 sensible snacks. It sounds awfully positive. It's easy to convince yourself that you are being positive. But just think about it for a moment. Think about, because remember, this is emotional eating. Think about the emotion that underpins that sentence. If, as you say it, the thought you're having is, I can't do that, can I? That's really difficult. The thought might even be, and it's not even that appealing, oh gosh, what will I do without all those things I like? If any of those thoughts are behind the sentence, however positively you phrase it, we can all do that, can't we? We can all go, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I'm having a great day, even when we're not. If there's an element of that really you don't believe it, then that is where you have to start solving the problem. And that is where you will gain the control that will enable you to stop gaining weight. And you have to do that first. Forget about losing weight first. Start with stabilising. So rethink the answer to that question. If a miracle were to happen and you were to stop binge eating and you woke up tomorrow morning and you had no idea what had happened except that somehow something was different, what would you do differently? And something else. If the answer is, I'd be happier, I'd be more energetic, I'd be, you get the picture. These are words that describe feelings, which is great, but you've got to move the word about the feeling on to, okay, and if I'm more happier and if I'm more energetic, what do I do when I am? You've got to move it into new behaviours. Park the food. Food isn't in the answer. You're going to leave that for now. You're not ready for that yet. That comes later. So I hope that has shed a little light and made things a little simpler for some of you. There's a blog that I posted a while back which someone brought to my attention again just this week, which may well also be helpful. I think it's called something like Eat What You Want, Be Slim, Eat What You Want, something like that. It's at blog.eatingbattles.com, or you can get to it through eatingbattles.com and just click on the link for blog. And if you do go there and read that blog or any other, please do leave a comment. It would be great to hear from you, and leave a comment here too. Great to speak to you. As I say, I hope it was helpful, and I will catch you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.